birthday, dear Andy. Happy birthday to you. There you go.
9 years ago, Andy Busick had a heart transplant. Transplantation is one of the great successes of modern medicine. It's no longer considered experimental. Medical innovations now make it possible for a single donor to save or help as many as 25 people by choosing to donate specific organs and tissues, such as the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, corneas, bone and cartilage, marrow, pancreas, and many others. One person can make a tremendous difference.
I never really thought about doing it or not doing it, just because I never thought about it, I guess.
I guess we'll put off thinking about our own death. And of course, when you think about donating an organ, that's all tied up in the same thing.
Maybe if I knew more about organ donation, I would be willing to donate.
While it's true that over 16,000 transplants have been performed in a single year, that number represents only a fraction of Americans in need of an organ donation. In addition, many thousands more are waiting for tissue transplants. Over 30,000 people are waiting for suitable donor organs.
I work in a hospital, and I see the number of children that are waiting for organ transplants, and I see the anguish that the parents go through, and some of them that, don't ever make it, and it's hard to watch that. So I think it's important for people to be aware.
To match donors with recipients, the National Organ Procurement and Transplantation Network was established by federal law. Over 2,000 patients, many of them children, are added to this nationwide list each month. The computerized network matches donors and recipients based on a detailed medical profile and geographic considerations. This matching system assures that organs are distributed fairly. The medical technology is in place to save and enhance someone's life. Donors are the missing link. Donors are people in good health who have died, often suddenly. A patient is examined by 2 physicians using strict neurological criteria and declared brain dead. Only after the patient has been pronounced dead are the organs removed. Of the estimated 20 to 25,000 brain deaths in the United States each year, less than 20% become organ donors.
We're dedicated to preserving life, both the life of the recipient and the donor. Only after all attempts to save your life are unsuccessful do we even begin to think about organ donation.
If you have a donor card, the decision has been made. If not, your family will be given the opportunity to decide. However, that decision comes at a difficult time. You can help them by discussing your wishes regarding organ donation now. We have wills and life insurance. Why not an organ donor card?
Uniform donor cards are available at most hospitals and many physicians' offices. The card must be signed in the presence of 2 witnesses and carried with your identification. But most importantly, discuss organ donation with your family. There is no additional cost to the donor family. Medical bills associated with the donation are paid by the Organ Procurement Organization. Most faiths view organ and tissue donation as a charitable act. Organs and tissues are retrieved by transplant surgeons with the same care and skill as with any other operation. The procedure causes no change in the donor's appearance that would interfere with funeral arrangements.
Donating Paul's organs gave us a chance to have something positive come out of a tragic situation.
It was difficult then, and it's still hard. We lost our son, but we know that somewhere he's helping someone else.
The question isn't why would you do it? The question is why wouldn't you do it? And there isn't one bad thing I can think about being an organ donor. There's just not.
If anything happened to my son and I needed to donate his organs, I would, because
I hope that I could save another child's life.
If something serious happens to me and my organs would help another individual, yes, I think it's a good idea to do it.
Happy birthday, sweetie.
Sports help us do two very important things. The first is to find qualities that define us as individuals, the things that make each of us special, unique, and different. And the second is to find things that unite and connect us with others. What's wonderful about the Transplant Games is they give all of us an opportunity to enrich our lives, both as individuals and as people connected by a common interest. 2 years ago, at the '94 Games in Atlanta, two strangers struck up a conversation. Deanna Arnold was attending her first Transplant Games. Mark Dewey was attending his second. Deanna had received a liver transplant in December of '92. Mark had a bone marrow transplant in April of '89. Deanna came to the Games because she had heard great things about them in her support group. Mark came because he tended to shy away from support groups. And I guess you'd have to say that fate put them in the same place at the same time. As it turns out, fate had been working on this for a long time. As Deanna and Mark got to know each other, they discovered that Deanna happened to live in the Connecticut town where Mark grew up. Mark and his family vacationed in the town in New York where Deanna grew up, and both families used to regularly visit the same small town in Maine. They might have passed each other on the street as kids. In fact, it's likely they did. When Mark mentioned to Diana that he had been born in Hartford Hospital, a stunned Diana replied she had been reborn via transplant in that very same hospital 24 years later. Obviously, Mark now says, Deanna has been stalking me my whole life. I won't comment on who might have been shadowing who, but by next April it doesn't matter. Mark and Deanna are getting married.
Look at me, I'm soaking wet. This is great. To think a year and 8 months later, considering what I went through, and I'm here. I mean, I can't even explain it. Just the fact that I'm here is just, you know, it's just over my head.